So CNN is trying to cull their herd even more by getting rid of the last relevant name, even though he's not very good at his job, but he at least is, I'm pretty sure, the biggest name. Well, Jake Tapper's up there, but the one that has the most cultural relevance and the one that checks the most boxes. They're trying to ease him out. I think it's kind of an op, to be completely honest, knowing what he's being shown the door on. Like, come on now. I can see through this like Don Lemon can with his boyfriend's underwear. He has 0 defenders left at CNN. Oh my God, what did he do this time, guys? Embattled CNN anchor Don Lemon has 0 defenders left at the network. Source said, as it remains unclear whether he'll be back on air Tuesday. Oh my God, I sure hope he was or wasn't. I don't care. Lemon, 56, who used to host his own evening show, has now been stuck on a morning panel show that draws, 3,800 viewers? Yo. Since its debut last November, is embroiled in a sexist scandal that's threatening his future at the network. This is what I think they're doing. I'll read through his comments. It's like, he's not wrong, but okay. The big question is CNN going to keep Don on the air on a day-to-day basis? Said one well-placed industry insider. If they want to keep him, they would suspend him for 2 weeks and call it a day. Why would they suspend him for this? Like, it's so stupid. Lemon missed Friday and Monday's show after he said on air last week that GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley, strap in folks, 51, isn't in her prime. Yeah, and now, CNN staffers are waiting for the anchor schedule to be released Monday evening to find out who's hosting Tuesday. Page 6 is told. Lemon has reportedly left Miami, where he spent the long weekend. Being at the beach, I guess? I don't know. He's kicked off Thursday when Lemon told co-host Poppy Harlow and Caitlin Hollins that a woman is... Okay, here's the statements. A woman is considered to be in her prime, in her 20s and 30s, maybe 40s. So he's already just trying to soften it anyways. In light of Haley saying politicians over the age 75 should be required to undergo cognitive testing. It's not Nikki Haley is sus as all hell, but she's not wrong on that one. And the fact that there's even age 75-year-old politicians, she's being bitched up by that. And it's like, there should be an age cap along with the term limit and all that stuff as well. This prompted Harlow, 40, of course, to walk off the set. Lemon later issued an apology. The outrage internally has not died down, said the insider. People are upset. They gave the worst apology ever, and instead of going to the Hamptons to sit on it quietly, he went out to Miami, stayed at a Chi-Chi hotel, and got his photo taken. Okay, cool. But okay, what did he say? A woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s. What he's doing right there, like, I don't think any of this was an accident at all whatsoever. What's still popular in some form or fashion? What does the media hate ever so much? More than Trump, more than Republicans, whatever they want to claim. They hate independent media. What has independent media been pushing over the past year? And we all know that legacy media is always last to the finish line. What was the most popular story in 2022? Oh, there was a guy named Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. What were some of his controversial opinions? Well, it had to do something with women, of course. So I guess we know how the hierarchy works, at least in old school legacy media. You got a gay black guy, but is he as important as a brown female? Survey says nope. Or maybe they had one of their most popular figures that they're looking to try to ease out of the way. And how are they trying to do that? By taking down other popular emerging talking points in some fields as well. Andrew Tate, literally Hitler, guys. He's in jail right now on charges of human trafficking. Really? That's their opinion on that stuff. I've done so many videos on that. You know that I'm just simply misstating that and just, giving you the mainstream media line on that. But he's parroting very poorly manosphere, red pill, whatever you want to talk, intersexual dynamic talking points. A woman is considered in her prime. He used that verbiage very specifically, in her prime, in her 20s, but then still had to soften the blow enough for it to not come across so harsh and absurd for the morning audience. Those pleasantly plump housewives that are just sending their kids off to school so that she can ogle the pool boy. Because yeah, you know that's true. A woman's prime, her sexual market value prime, because again, it's just these broads have never actually had to confront ideas like that, because if they weren't, you know, all up in their feelings, could have been, what do you mean by prime? But because this was all scripted, I'll say that I think that this was scripted because nobody's watching this shit, and that's the only time that it's had any traction so far. It's like, oh my god, she stormed off the set, that was so crazy. It's because he attacked a woman of color, saying that she's not in her prime. Sexual market value prime for a woman, 24. What is that, the peak, where they're the most attracted, they're the most desirable by the largest amount of the population. That is true. 30s and 40s, that's just a cope. When you hit 30, 80% of your eggs are gone. 35 is a high-risk pregnancy, and then by 40, well, you got a free storage box between your legs. Like, that's just fact, biological fact. Obviously being a little hyperbolic at the end. But no, is that something that Don Lemon would ever talk about beforehand? Absolutely not. But he's on a failing morning show. CNN's obviously trimming a bunch of different salaries. They're cost cutting because nobody cares. Warner Brothers Discovery is already underwater hugely, so if they can save any money anywhere, they'll get rid of Don Lemon. Maybe they just offered him an opportunity to just easily and quietly get just sunsetted off. It's like, here's going to be a cushy little parachute if you just say something that's palatable by some people we hear on the internet. And it's like, oh, he's close, but he could learn, I guess. Some people not seeing this for the obvious grift that it is. CNN trying to take down manosphere, red pill, intersexual dynamic talking points by parroting something that he heard very crudely. It's causing a big stir. Maybe people will tune in. Ooh, you want to see what the fight's going to be? Bro, who cares? But look at how vociferously they came out against that. It obviously worked, right? People are talking about it. Hell, even I'm talking about it. I seen it when it happened at the time. Didn't watch the video. I just seen the clip, and it's like, no, he's just trying to take down those type of talking points on his way out the door. Like, that totally makes sense. So yeah, he's placed on a temporary suspension. May or may not have been there at the beginning of the week. Spoiler, I'm recording this a little bit earlier. But it's funny, yeah, CNN takes him off the spot for at least a couple of days. He needs to issue an apology. His co-host just gets so upset. According to CNN spokesperson Matt Dornick, Lamont was originally scheduled to be back as anchor chair Monday, but opted to take President's Day holiday. The insider countered this. Don was definitely scheduled to work Monday and tell you he has 0 defenders left. So yeah, he's going to get ushered out because at the base of this, it's still an attack on Nikki Haley. Oh, she's not in her prime. How dare you? So they get rid of him. But over on MSNBC, you can attack her because she's a white supremacist and nothing bad will happen to you. It's wild because nobody actually who's a Republican, because this is CNN and this is MSNBC who's talking about this stuff. So people that were never going to vote for her to begin with, using her as some sort of a lightning rod for discussion. Hilarious how you can attack somebody who is politically irrelevant, like Nikki Haley. Ooh, who cares? She might be Ben Shapiro's spirit animal, but yo, she's gonna be the first one out the pool whenever the presidential primary debates peak up. Wajat Ali, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and I care even less if I do, claims Nikki Haley uses brown skin to launder white supremacy. Have you seen her platform? It would look dated if she was running for president in 2008. Like, yo, come on now. A guest on MSNBC launched a racially charged attack at former ambassador to the United Nations and former governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley, on Sunday night, accusing the Republican presidential campaign of using her brown skin to launder white supremacist talking points. Like, which one, stupid? I see her and I feel sad because she uses her brown skin tone as a weapon against poor black folks and brown folks, and she uses her brown skin to launder white supremacist talking points, my friend. Daily Beast, of course, it's Daily Beast columnist Wajat Ali said on the Mehdi Hassan show. Cool. Haley, 51, former South Carolina governor whose parents were immigrants from India. Don't care about that. She's a fucking failure. So last week, CNN This Morning co-host Don Lemon sparked an uproar that claimed Nikki Haley was not in her prime. That's just a fact. But actually, the previous article didn't even do that entire quote justice. If you Google when a woman is in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. So yeah, you know it's an op when that all comes out. Like, come on now. And so is this. It's like, you guys are just trying to make her more popular than she actually is because she has the personality of a dishcloth. Ali, a Pakistani American, and book of Go Back to Where You Came From will take your own advice and other helpful recommendations on how to become American. Argued that Haley's parents benefited from Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which strongly supported by the civil rights activists. What does that have to do with anything? Her policies are just ass to begin with. Why don't you attack her on those? Her father came here because he was a professor. He taught at a historically black college in South Carolina. That's how she become the proud American that she is. She's proud about being American. We don't like that. Yet what she does do, like all these model minorities, says the guy who's only getting a spot on MSNBC for a similar spot. Okay. Which, by the way, is the strategy of white supremacy, to use an Asian in particular as a cudgel against black folks. The black folks, which, President Trump was at the top of the ticket. We're voting more for Republicans than any previous administration in recent history. Okay, instead of pulling us up from the bootstraps, we're told to take off our boot and put it on the neck of poor immigrant refugees and black folks. Not like Nikki Haley's parents, because they were well-to-do. They were benefiting from white supremacy in India while her father became a professor. Okay. Lee further characterized Haley as the alpha Karen with brown skin. Hey, I think we have common ground. Here. And said that she is the perfect Manchurian candidate for white supremacists and bigots. No, they don't support her. Like, nobody does, actually. Like, she had to pay everybody in the background. I was the daughter of Indian immigrants. No, that was no battle call. Not black or white. I was different. Yeah, that was a part of her campaign speech because, well, I've talked about this multiple times when it comes to Republicans. If you don't embrace the tactics of the left, they're going to continue to dick kick you. And then when I see the likes of, Josh Hawley, Mike Lee in the Senate, a couple of those Freedom Caucus cats down there in the House employ those same tactics of just ruthless aggression against the opposition, I like that because they're adopting talking points from the left. Nikki Haley, she's doing the exact same thing, except for taking those identity politics ideas from over there and trying to beat them at their own game. Listen, bitch, they don't care because at the end of the day, you're their ideological enemy. So I don't know if she's just trying to get the simp neocon base. Like that's a profitable base, but outside of just running a pseudo money laundering campaign, your chances are 0 or zip, whatever you want, man. But sorry, I shouldn't be calling out your cousins. But yeah, don't fall for the media op on this one. CNN's trying to remain relevant, and MSNBC, well, they've never seen a race that they can't find an expert in order to hate on, so fuck all of them. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.